Good morning, tropical update, July 2nd, 2010. Happy Friday, everyone, as we move into this holiday weekend, 4th of July weekend. Just wanted to go over real quick before I touch on the rest of the what's going on in the tropics today. Some of Hurricane Alex's rainfall totals. This is the last 24 hours here, and you could see basically yesterday was areas north of Corpus Christi to Houston that were really getting hammered well. About 5, 6, some areas close to 8 inches of rain up in this section here from Victoria to League City. This whole area in here. We had persistent southeast flow yesterday. Again today, it's going to be the same situation. Rainfall coming in off the Gulf of Mexico as we still have this southeast flow. And also another area of rain, and this could be the biggest concern, especially as we go into northern Mexico in this area here and along the Rio Grande. You see some areas close to 10 inches of rain here just south of Sabinas, and this will be an area here. Moisture from Alex will be getting sucked into western Texas there and along the Rio Grande, so we'll have to watch for flooding. I think right now we've had about 4 deaths in Mexico due to the flooding, so hopefully we won't see any more of that, but still a big rainfall problem in this area that will continue for the next couple days. Alright, well, let's move on to the rest of the tropics. And surprise, surprise, we have our newest invest this morning, Invest 95L. Really could see it pretty well on the visible satellite picture here, right near Apalachicola. As you see this little bit of swirl right in here, and this is the little area of low pressure that we're going to start tracking with specific model runs now that the National Hurricane Center has designated this its next invest. Right now, no threat at all. Something I mentioned yesterday was about this front that's going to be laying down right in this area here in the Gulf. And anytime you get a front, especially this far south this time of year, we have to watch for potential trouble down the road. It's going to take a while. Once we get this trough to lift out, get a little trough split action in here, get the shear to come down. If this could sit around here for a few days, maybe by Monday, we could see something happening in this area here and maybe move off to the west, maybe southwest and west. We'll just have to watch this area. And, of course, this is the oil area too. So be something to watch this weekend. Again, nothing imminent right now. This is going to take a little time to develop, and I'll show you what some of the models are doing with this system. And just to show you the water vapor loop, and you could see this big tongue of dry air moving down over this system. So it's going to take a little while for this thing to really develop, if it does. And again, it'll have to get out into the Gulf of Mexico in order for developing it. It'll need to sit there for a few days. And look at this dry air this time of year. Isn't that something? Upper level low right in here. Bringing some convection into the northwest Caribbean here. No development right now there, but another area to watch down the road, especially if this sits down here for a while. Just showing you how much shear this area is under right now. We got about 30 to 40 knots of northwesterly shear around our trough up in this area here along the east coast. So still a lot of shear, a lot of dry air. It's going to, again, needs to sit here for a number of days in order for it to develop. Here's that upper level low I was talking about just south of Cuba, touching off some of that convection. Big tut right in here. A lot of shear this way, coming through the Caribbean and then through the northeast islands here. Upper level high right over our other tropical wave at around 40 degrees, 45 degrees out in this area here. This is something we'll have to watch down the road too. As the Euromodel wants to eventually develop this in the western Caribbean later next week. So another area to watch down the road. And again, here's the steering currents currently, and you can see big high pressure over the Great Lakes area, trough here along the east coast. Again, a little trough split action is going to develop, and then we could maybe see this area develop right in here eventually in the next few days or so. This will probably eventually get steered off to the west, southwest, through the Gulf of Mexico. Maybe it'll just lay along the coast and never develop, we'll have to see. Because high pressure is going to kind of move east, and this will steer this system west. A little wider picture here. You can see our tropical wave right here. approaching around between 40 and 50 west. It's around 45 now. Something to watch down the road. This does have an upper level high over it. Another tropical wave in here. This is where our upper level low is creating some thunderstorm activity today. We're also going to have to watch this whole front. Could be an area the GFS has been wanting to spin up, an area of low pressure off the east coast as well early next week. So this whole front will have to be watched for activity. And here's the eastern Atlantic, and you can see all the tropical waves lined up. This is that one we were talking about here, near 45 degrees, another one near 30, another one coming off the coast of Africa, and then another one back on Africa here, western Africa. So the wave train is beginning. Still a little far south, but they're starting to pick up, getting a little farther north here as they're coming off the coast. So it's going to be a busy season. And here's our invest graphically here. Just a couple models have been run on this this morning, so really nothing to, really can't go by anything right now. But this is where it's located. This is where they're starting the model runs, and you saw on the visible satellite, you saw where it's located right here. So again, something to watch the next few days. Like I said, if development does happen, I wouldn't see anything till early next week, Monday, Tuesday, if this could sit down in here for a while and the pattern changes and could get some less shear in this area, lift out that dry air, and a little trough split action, and definitely something could develop here eventually, but not right now. So here's the GFS model, and you could see it's spinning up this system right in here. This is where the area of low pressure we're talking about kind of sits it around the Gulf Coast here early next week. So that's something we're going to really have to watch for development there. Let's just watch this loop go one more time, and I'll just show you what we're talking about again. This is towards the end here. Hang on one second here, and here we go. So we're going to see, and then we're also going to have to watch for development out in this area as well, off the east coast. Could see something spin up here, and in this whole area you see a lot of buildup in here, the Western Caribbean. Definitely I feel like something's going to pop in this area in the next week, so area to definitely watch for. And here was the latest Euro model. Again, not developing our area here, but you could see it brings that wave that we were looking at through here and kind of wants to get it, not big development, but we definitely have to watch for, as you're going to watch the wave come right through here in the model run right here. So definitely going to have to watch that wave out by 45 degrees west. May see some development down the road out of that later down the road. So something to watch for next week. And here's the Canadian model, again, developing our area right here. Just kind of sits it around Florida here. That's our Invest 95L. And again, develops that area off the East Coast. Actually, it develops two areas here. Again, anywhere along this front, we possibly could see some kind of development early next week. So we're definitely going to keep watching that area. So to sum things up here, the area to watch the next few days, I believe, is going to be this eastern central Gulf of Mexico area, watching our invest, see what it does. No worries over the weekend. You could sleep tight over this 4th of July weekend, but just an area to watch early next week. Also, I would continue to watch the Western Caribbean for development. This whole kind of little axis of moisture in here, something could develop down there as well. And then later next week, have to watch that tropical wave coming through the Caribbean, and that could get some kind of development once it gets into the Western Caribbean later next week, middle to late next week. I believe the tropics. This has been my thought all along, that the tropics are really going to take off towards the middle of July. So from the middle to the end of July, we could see a lot of activity, and it's going to be busy. Middle to the end of July, I think we're going to probably see 3 to 4 storms develop. So that's been my thoughts all along. Have a great holiday weekend. If 95L decides to do a little development during the weekend, I will have another update. If not, have a wonderful 4th of July weekend, and stay safe. Take care.